Let's speak about Starting Five.
Starting Five. What a series.
Because as you guys should know, Starting Five series on Netflix about five starters that are in the NBA right now.
Top, yeah, the top
of the
starters.
Top players in their teams, yeah, man.
Well, we have Anthony Edwards, LeBron James.
You say LeBron's name first next time.
You see where his
Sabonis.
allegiance is, Elias.
Sabonis.
What's his first name? Demontis
Sabonis.
Well, his family call him Domas.
Yes,
Domas Sabonis.
Yes, Domas Sabonis.
Um,
And
Jason Tatum.
yeah, JT.
And then Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Buckets, a.k.a. the coffee maker.
coffee guy.
AKA the when he came in the long hair.
Oh my goodness.
Emo Jimmy.
That was interesting though. Not him doing it on the series, like the explanation of it and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool.
Still enough from me.
Oh yeah. No, don't get me wrong. It was
Guess enough from everyone. You see Bam's reaction when he saw it.
Yeah.
It was mad still. But then him following up being in that artist video and everything or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, him. Was asking the nanny, what should I do? And the nanny's like, be an emo. And he's like, F it. Let me play with the media, innit? So I was like, obviously, you do your thing, do what you want, innit? But yeah, Starting Five.
I would say I'm only one episode in.
Yeah.
I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, we're done with it.
Yeah,
I think I'm at the end of the final episode. I think
I've watched it all.
So what's your thoughts on the overall production of it?
So a few things that I took away from it. Anthony Edwards, he's very young.
Yeah.
Like very, very young. Like
he's still
childish.
He acknowledges it though.
Yeah, he does acknowledge, but he's childish.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously his personality is A1.
Sorry, just to cut you off. It's weird though, as childish as he is, when it comes to basketball, he knows how to
he
switch
switched
it on.
on. Absolutely.
His childishness in his personal aspect doesn't translate to the basketball.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's why I like him even more.
Yeah. I absolutely love him.
He enjoys his age, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And also, he doesn't eat very well.
Yeah, but he spoke about better nutrition and stuff like that.
Like literally, he went out for a run or he was working out or whatever. He came back and ate Domino pizza. Like
speaking about his nutrition.
Literally speaking about how he eats.
Oh, he's what, 22, isn't it?
Yeah, 22. I mean, we eat fried chicken. He was like,
what do you expect?
You can get away with it.
I'm trying to like get my palate, that's what you were saying, my taste buds are not
Well, he's
like
23 now, yeah.
experienced. So he's like obviously still eating fried chicken and all sorts and whatever. Jason,
fried chicken though.
I know. Jason Tatum. I mean, for me, he's a lovely guy. But when his dad spoke about seeing Jason Tatum in the beast mode that he wants to see him in. But then obviously when they won the chip, then the reporters was like, well, we don't need to see that beast mode in, Jason Tatum because his personality actually got him to where,
where he
He flipped the script, basically.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to see that because I have been talking about that with friends about like not seeing like that enough of Jason Tatum. But
do you know what it is with Tatum? It's because he loves Kobe so much. You'd think he'd have more of a Kobe personality. That's what it is. And they're not opposites, but like they're so different.
very.
Like,
But that's a good point.
you'd
though.
think because Kobe's his number one, you'd think he would have inherited Kobe's
The Kobe mentality.
Mamba spirit, Mamba mentality,
Mamba,
all that jazz. And he's got it in a quiet way where he's just focused and he just does his thing quietly. Like he's not on the assassin mode of Kobe, but just whereas like most players that idolize a player, they kind of want to be like them personality wise. Do you know what I mean?
Devin Booker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those players that like really look up to Kobe, you obviously see that beast mode in them. But it was really interesting to see that his dad said that. That was really interesting to see. Also, LeBron, just seeing that family aspect for me with LeBron. I mean, he's always been like a family man, but just seeing it was really, really good.
I think his was key from the family aspect because you can see how much he appreciates Savannah or what she does.
Absolutely.
And like how much she appreciates him, but they're so in sync. Like she knows, all right, let me hold it down. And he knows, like he's got it the best way possible an athlete can have it with your other half, and his family understanding. I always say to the man that Kit Balls, like sleep is so important. And he's one athlete that's always preached, I need my sleep.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're having late nights, but he sleeps during the day every time. And it showed in documentaries, like 12 till 2's his sleep schedule. Without fail, no matter what he's doing, if it's an off day or even in game day, he's sleeping rough.
Oh, really?
He says recovery is the best thing for him. Like sleep's his best form of recovery, sorry. So
Fair.
and then obviously having all the funds in the world to get.
Yeah, listen, he can pay someone to put him to sleep and it'll still be fine. He ain't gonna feel nothing.
He's had the same trainer since.
Same trainer, but then they talked about like how much he spends on his body.
It's like $1 million, isn't it?
Well, he said no comment.
He said no. He said he doesn't know where that narrative came from. Because he's never
He never put that out himself.
Yeah.
But he obviously spends a lot.
But you can see like how much he puts, the work that he puts into making sure that his body is in, top
This
gear
is
every
why I
season.
feel like some of the players that went to the Olympics, that was their opportunity for them to go to the next step. Seeing him, Steph, KD in person, seeing what them three do, to be where they are, because they're insane trainers. Like, LeBron gets more of the credit, but we know KD works just as hard. KD and LeBron used to train together every offseason.
Yeah.
Like, Steph, to see his development from preventing ankle injuries, for instance. Like, I always say Steph's arguably the fittest player in the NBA on the court because of the running he does. Do you know what I mean? So, like, the likes, Devin Booker, for instance, he's around KD, so he can naturally take that next step. But and being around it and be like, because it humbled him to an extent. I'm not the main man in the Olympics, but he's got the mindset. And then Embiid's the flip for me, where he's not mentally like those guys, but that could help him, his career, being around those guys, even if it was for 6 weeks or however long it was. Do you know what I mean? So, other players in the starting five.
So LeBron Sabonis was really good to see. The family aspect, obviously, that was really good because obviously we know that his dad played in the NBA, but then he talked about like just comparing lives of not being away from his family, and he now understands what his dad went through. Being.
You see, towards the end, he basically said, "I properly get exactly what my dad like."
So I think everyone should watch it. It's really, Jimmy. Jimmy. Jimmy's Jimmy. But for him to obviously, now I understand why we didn't really see that beast mode during the playoffs. Obviously this season, obviously because of his dad, passed away.
Well, he got injured in the play-in, so his dad passed away during the season.
Yeah, but then obviously, I don't know, but we didn't see the same Jimmy.
Kelly Oubre in his playing game.
Yeah, but for me, we didn't see the same Jimmy what we see in the playoffs. Yeah. It was totally different, in my opinion.
I think like the period when his dad died in the regular season, because the Heat was still trying to, and I think they weren't going on long runs, and that probably affected it. Yeah, because he played that same day when
his dad. His dad was like. He played, so I think his agent called him and said on the plane, and texted him and said, his dad.
No. So basically, sorry, I remember now. Before he was flying, he basically said to the hospital staff, make sure he's available. He knew his dad was gonna die, but he said make sure he's fine to watch my game and that he's alive by the time I come back, because it was playing and come back. And then his agent texted him on the plane, and he said from that point, his agent never texts him, or no one texts him when he's mid-flight.
Have you landed?
He said, all his agent said is, have you landed? And he knew at that point his dad had passed away. And he still went out on the floor and balled. I can't remember what game it was, but
it wasn't. To me, it still wasn't the same old Jimmy that we see.
Definitely. Because towards the end, you see him really say, when he says, I don't even want the cameras being on me, like I'm just here and you lot are filming me.
Yeah.
And you can see how like his dad's death affected the rest of his season.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you know about like his like growing up. I don't think he had both parents in his life.
I don't think him and his dad had a great relationship.
Yeah, because he was raised by someone else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it was obviously if you've seen quarterback and if you've seen receiver, you kind of see
that kind of style.
Yeah, because Peyton Manning's one of the executive producers, and obviously he's
he was
executive producer at both the NFL series. So if you like those kind of docuseries, and me and Jacob spoke about it on last week's episode, how sports documentaries is helping to get fans that aren't really interested in those sports, for instance.
Perfect example, Drive to Survive.
Yeah, we basically spoke about that without you. but yeah, it's, unless you watched it, which you should have. But just saying, I was saying on that episode that all these kind of sports docu-series, like especially these particular ones, I know, for instance, my sister, I can always say, yo, you will love this. And she'll verify that she's loved it, etc. So, no, starting five for me, it was obviously we've given a bit, but you'll continue watching it.
Yeah.
It just further highlights everything that players really go through. It shows you how long a season is. You know?
It's even long, man.
But how it can just cut off. When the Lakers got knocked out by the Nuggets, LeBron's just like, we do all this for 9 months and you're telling me my season's done. Like, boom. You're just packing everything. And it's hard for players like that to switch off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
He's so ingrained in having a postseason now.
yeah. So